Back with us now, Republican Congressman of New York, Lee Zeldin with House Foreign Affairs. Congressman, we have breaking news from the Pentagon. 3 U.S. Army CH-47 helicopters did pick up 169 Americans outside Kabul airport. The president, though, today saying he was not going to expand the perimeter. What is going on here?
I would love to get some answers myself. I just had a call recently with, a couple hours ago, Secretary Austin, General Milley, Secretary Blinken. I had the opportunity to ask questions of all of them on that call on a number of different topics. But that is one particular issue that, because it being an unsecure line, it's not going to be until we get back to D.C. on Tuesday. I guess we're going to have a classified briefing with them. These questions, your question for me was also a question that all of us had for them. And unfortunately, there's just too much uncertainty as to what exactly is going on there, because there's certainly a need to go get Americans who can't safely get to the airport in Kabul. We want to know what the plan is. Apparently, there's some updates that they're not willing to tell us on the unsecure line.
Congressman, when in the world did we come to this point where we're going to trust the Taliban? You know what I mean? There's that. There's also this. Blaming Trump for Afghanistan today. Biden chose not to use that deal's escape clause to withdraw if talks failed, nor to use U.S. military power in a big way to get Americans out. That's what the Trump deal stipulated. Kash Patel, former Pentagon chief of staff, is saying it was really simple. Biden did not condition the withdrawal. He dumped the Trump agreement. He put in this arbitrary withdrawal date by September 11th for media optics. That's what he says. And an unconditional pullout based only on symbolism. Is that what we're dealing with here?
Yeah, exactly. That's the September 11th date significance. To your first point, we absolutely should not be trusting the Taliban. To your first question, it's important for the president and his administration to be honest and candid and consistent with the American public, where President Biden gave a press conference and he's talking about how people can safely get to the airport, and meanwhile being contradicted on a call that we're then on a few minutes later with the House Republicans hearing something different from Secretary Austin, telling us it's highly unlikely in July that there's going to be a Taliban takeover, and then it ends up happening instantly, quickly, and total. And we've seen a number of other examples like this. And to your question, and I'm glad Kash is speaking up, and he was a great member who I had a chance to know and work close with, and fortunately he did a great job getting involved in the Trump administration. It was a conditional withdrawal. And if anybody goes back and reads the transcripts of President Biden's interview with George Stephanopoulos, President Biden said he was going to do this anyway. So all this stuff about blaming President Trump, if you're going to give that candid answer in your interview with George Stephanopoulos and say that all of this was going to happen regardless of whether or not there was any deal between the Trump administration and the Taliban, then everything else is just that much less credible. But Kash's points were important, and they should be well noted for anyone who's interested.
So now we have the Taliban reports coming in. The Taliban has been beating Americans at Kabul airport. Your reaction?
You know, it's important that this reporting, the pictures, the videos, that they do get out there publicly, because this information only getting up the chain of command internally, and then the president giving a press conference where he's saying that this stuff isn't happening at all, ends up misleading the American public. It erodes trust and credibility with this administration and with the government. The rest of the world is watching. President Biden also stated that our allies aren't criticizing us. People are reading the statements. They're seeing the videos. This is happening with our allies. So we just need to be a lot more candid. The fact that that's happening outside of the fence, if it's happening, let's at least be honest it's going on. The reality is, you can't just expect all these Americans to safely get their way to Kabul. What the president said during his press conference today was that all Americans will come home. If you want to come home, you'll be able to come home. What it actually meant was, if you're able to find a way for yourself to get to Kabul airport by August 31st, then we'll be able to get you home. And there's no way that we're going to be able to get all of our Americans home by August 31st, and to do so without operating outside of the fence.
Okay. Well, it's critics and people are stunned the world over what's going on. Congressman Lee Zeldin, thanks for joining us. It's good to see you. Up